Hello everybody and welcome to another video. And today we're going to be looking at a band, or should I say artist, I have not heard of before. It's not really surprising because they only appeared this year. Looking at Blackbraid. Now I tried to do a bit of research on them, but surprisingly not very much information. All I could glean was that Blackbraid is an atmospheric black metal solo project formed in the Adirondack Mountains in New York in February of 2022. So they only arrived literally this year. There is only one member who goes by the name Sacandaga. I probably pronounced that horribly and I do apologise. And the themes of the music are Native Americans, Indigenous Americans, nature and paganism. So, you know, nature and paganism tends to happen quite a lot in black metal. Native and Indigenous Americans, though. Interesting. We're going to be looking at a track called Sacandaga. Sacandaga? Well, I think, yeah. I do have lyrics here. I'm hoping they're accurate because the only place I could find these on the internet seemed to be fan-submitted. And we know that quite frequently those turn out to be horrendously wrong. But, yeah, this should be interesting. I don't think I've done any black metal in quite a while. And as we all know, I have some very strong opinions when it comes to black metal. So, yeah, let's have a look. So, Sacandaga by Blackbraid. Let's have a look. Okay. Wasted no time. There we go. Sacandaga. Yeah, Sacandaga by Blackbraid. That was quite interesting, actually. Now, as I said before, I have some very strong opinions when it comes to black metal. Because you either get what I call bathroom black metal, which is the one where it sounds like every musician is in a different room of the house, and the vocals are being sung by a guy in the bathroom. Or you get like the really, I'm not going to say overproduced, but the really sort of clean, crisp produced stuff like, you know, recent Dimmu Borgir, Emperor sort of thing. This one sort of sits somewhere in between, because, I mean, it's an independent release. He's obviously doing all the musical arrangement by himself. He's writing the songs, he's performing the songs, he's probably doing the video himself as well. So this sort of sits somewhere in between, and I like it, but at the same time it's also pretty typical black metal. And I would say uninspired if it wasn't for that flute bit towards the end, you know, that sort of what looked to be a Native American Indian flute. And it wouldn't surprise, it actually looks to be that the singer himself might actually be Native American as well. I mean, a lot of what he wears, he's got a certain look and tone to his skin. He could well be Native American himself. So yeah, and like I say, it's musically it's pretty typical black metal. It does have some nice changes in there, you know. He does mix it up a bit. There are some very interesting time changes, you know, melody changes that are in there, but for the most part it's just the persistent, fast, repeated riff that is pretty typical of most black metal, which is one of the reasons I'm not overly fond of black metal, because it does get a bit repetitive for the most part. Now, as I said, you know, the themes of the artist is, you know, Native and Indigenous Americans and nature and paganism, and this song is pretty much seems to be about nature and paganism. There isn't really much in the way of like story or depth behind it, but it's just the way he's speaking about nature, so it seems. And, you know, it's quite nicely written. It says, golden sunsets whisper, pastel painted skies, fading lights embrace, hills of endless pine. Can you hear her calling? Dusk's eternal blanket falls. Darkness rolling silent over mountains high. Hemlock bleeding warm sap, leaves dance on autumn's sky. Now, there are certain lines in here that, you know, if you were to read it out to people, they wouldn't necessarily say it was black metal. I mean, like that line, leaves dance on autumn sky. It sounds very sort of jolly and happy and that sort of thing. People wouldn't necessarily go, oh, those are black metal lyrics. And what was the other one? Pastel painted skies. You know, these are lines that you wouldn't necessarily, automatically associate with black metal. Well, you know, and this is a common misconception, you know, because people seem to think black metal is Satan, devil worship, demon summoning. But that's not necessarily true. There are a lot of cliche black metal bands who do only sing about those sorts of things, and these are typically the bathroom black metal bands. You know, and you know, these are the people that give black metal a bad name. You know, whereas this person, he's talking about like the beauty of nature, you know, using words like pastel painted skies and leaves dancing in the autumn sky sort of thing. You know, he's painting an image with words. I hate using phrases like that because it sounds like such a horrendous cliche sort of thing to say, but he is. He's painting an image with words. Shadows move in softly, creeping darkness falls, ancient spirits whisper, spells of moon and earth. So this is where the sort of paganism element of it comes in. Of course, paganism is deeply rooted in nature anyway. So, 7 sacred pines soaring ever high, a road to the stars painted across the sky. Autumn wind comes softly, kisses my bare chest. Ancestral strength consumes me. I am reborn. So ancestral strength consumes me, I am reborn. Again, this is sort of in tone with pagan. I'm not going to pretend I know much about paganism, as everybody knows. I don't really go in for any religions whatsoever, but I do know that paganism is deeply rooted in nature and like ancestors and people that came beforehand. Sky would re-rise over moss-encrusted hemlock. He's used hemlock twice in this, so it's obviously something important. To awaken the hearts of long-forgotten gods. Spirits of the forest are flowing through my body, bestowing great strength and the will to carry on. So again, spirits of the forest, nature, that sort of thing. The passage of time slows to a soft whisper, like wind in the pines, while the creek flows softly by. A blackened wolf spirit with feral eyes of fire watches from the shore of the river of my mind. Awakened by the vision of 1,000 lives before me, my spirit flies free on the hallowed winds of time. And as the dream fades and my mortal form becomes me, the wolf's gaze sets upon me and our spirits intertwine. A celestial womb of ash burns beyond her eyes of fire, a celestial womb of ash behind the eyes of her spirit. So, you know, it's pretty typical of black metal in general. You know, they do tend to sing a lot about nature, paganism, that sort of thing. And like I said, musically, for the most part, again, pretty typical black metal. And, you know, I do like this track. I do think it has some really good elements to it. I really do love that flute that he used towards the end. You know, it had a wonderful sound to it. And it was a nice and a very unexpected addition to this piece of music. It's not something you hear very often in black metal. So yeah, I was quite impressed by this. I might have to look at some more of his music, because, you know, I've always said I'm not going to judge a band by a single piece of music. And it says it's an atmospheric black metal project. There wasn't really much in the way of atmospheric black metal, in my opinion, in this particular track. Although the flute did help. Like I said, more sort of typical run-of-the-mill black metal, bit repetitive riff-wise, although, like I said, it did have some really good and interesting changes in it. So, yeah, I'm going to have to investigate this band further and see what we come up with there. But I like the piece of music. I like the words. I like the way he's written it. You know, it's very beautifully worded, very well worded. So, yeah, interesting. And, you know, a piece of black metal music that I actually kind of like. It's a rare one. So, yeah, I'm not sure what else I can say about that, so I'll leave that as it is. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. And if you're not already, please consider subscribing as well, because it will help me quite considerably. But that's all I have for you today, so I'll leave it at that. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.